Hi everyone, I'm here with a video today showing you some different ways that I watercolor and the supplies that I use to watercolor. First I use some watercolored crayons. They're really fun, and who doesn't like to color with crayons? I'll link up all my supplies on my blog, by the way. I'm using some Faber-Castell watercolored pencils, and then of course the Tim Holtz distress markers. And the stamp set that I'm going to be using today to show you how I'm coloring these images is from DZ Designs, and this stamp set is called Floral Fusions. DZ Designs originally started as a digital stamp company, and now we've branched out into clear stamps, and our first release was in July, and we released 3 stamp sets, and this is one of them. You can go to the blog at www.dzdesigns.com to check out all of the images that we have. I'm going to be using the 2 big flowers, showing you how I'm going to color today. I went ahead and heat embossed them on some watercolor paper off camera to save time, and I clear set them with some clear embossing powder. And I'm going to start with the watercolored crayons here, and I'm just grabbing some colors that I like, and I'm just scribbling some color down. There's really no rhyme or reason to anything that I do, and certainly not when I color. I just grab some colors that I personally like. I've got a Zig water brush pen here, and this is a medium tip pen. And you can see how quickly just a tiny little bit of water, how easy it is to blend these watercolor crayons. They are really, really cool, I have to say. They're very different texture than, obviously the markers and the pencil. Now you see if you dab off with a cloth, you see a very light, pretty, subtle look that you can get. And I just wanted to show that to you. So if that's the look you're going for, you can just dab some of that color off and let it dry naturally. I wanted more of a flower that's going to pop, so I decided to add some more color in. So I wanted to show you that you can scribble that crayon onto your craft mat as well and pick it up from the craft mat. Just like that. And then when it dries, it's really going to be quite pretty. Here we are with some distress markers. You guys know how I love all my Tim Holtz distress ink products. So here I'm going to work with a family of blue here. We've got weathered wood, tumbled glass, faded jeans, and something else. The name escapes me right now. So I just scribbled them out on my craft mat, and I'm going to use a large tip water brush pen just to put that weathered wood down. It's hard to see because the image is embossed, but I wanted to have a nice base image with a real pretty blue. And then I'm going to switch to my medium tip brush, and I'm just going to start picking up the blues, and I'm just going to start painting in the blues until I get to a color that I'm happy with. I typically put the darker colors on the outside and then keep the lighter on the inside, but then sometimes I do the darker on the inside. I really don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. I think it's whatever you want to do is totally fine. As you can see, I'm mixing some of the blues together sometimes before I put them directly onto my image. So it's really whatever you want to do. And I love my craft sheet there because you can just wipe away your mess with one sweep. I love it. I wanted to show you that you can add some color, even after you're done. You can go back and add some color if you want. So even if your image is dry and you say, hey, I really want to add some more color, that's all right. Go back and add some more. So I do. I go back and I add some more. I want it to be a little bit darker. And then I just kind of dab it away. And then I spray it to have it blend. That's the great thing about distress markers. All right, now I've just stamped some images with some VersaFine Onyx black ink. Now the key to working with distress inks, because they react to water, you want to use a pigment ink, not a dye ink. Take it from me. I learned it the hard way. If you put a dye ink down like Memento Tuxedo Black and you try to watercolor, it's going to be all muddy because it's going to be picking up the ink from your stamped image. So here I'm working in some families of red and pinks, and I'm just applying some color. I'm going to add some green. Again, same way as I did it the last time. Just making it until I like it. Adding whatever colors I want. There I go with the purple again. Got a thing for purple, I guess. And because I'm cutting it out, I don't have to worry about staying in the lines or anything like that. And the next flower I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a marker, I think that's scattered straw, and I'm just going to color directly the flower, just directly onto the flower. I'm using the side of my brush. I always like to use the side, not the tip, because I don't want to damage the tip. And I'm going to show you the water flicking technique. You can do this with just perfect pearls, with water, or you can do it with a different color. Just put your ink down, make sure you get it fully saturated with water and ink mixture, and then you can just flick it directly onto your image. It's really fun. It's really pretty to do it with perfect pearls. If you have a distress inked background and you just flick perfect pearls all over the background, it really is quite pretty. And here I'm going to show you how I color with watercolor pencils. Remember, I'm not the best at it, but I do have them, and I like to use what I have. So I'm just coloring in the images just like I would with anything that I color, you know, whether it be pencils or crayons or whatever. Just picking some colors that I like and coloring the images directly, leaving a little bit of white space in each area. And then I'm going to take my a fine paintbrush, because this is such a tiny image. You can see I start with my medium tip and then I realize, hey, I need to switch paintbrushes here. So you can see how quickly and easily that the water brush, or the water and the pencils, how well they work together. You really don't have to do much. I'm just kind of blending all the colors together. Watercolor pencils are really fun, and they are a different look than using markers and crayons and things like that. I wanted to quickly show you how I created a background with the distress markers, because it was a card that I was working on when I was filming this, so I decided I'll go ahead and film how I made the background. I'm just scribbling some colors that I like down on my craft sheet. I've done this before in a previous video using the distress markers, so I apologize if you're seeing it again. Just scribbling some colors that I like down, and I'm just taking some, I want to cut those 3 flowers out because I'm going to use that on a card. So I'm just going to cut that strip out. You can use perfect pearls or water. I'm going to use water. I'm spraying it pretty heavily, probably 8 or 9 spritzes. And then I'm just going to put that right into that card, right into that water. And I'm going to leave it down there for just a second. You can see that water, that paper just drinks it up. And look at that really pretty background that you get in, what, 10 seconds? 10 seconds flat. Just let it dry and you're done. I decided to go ahead, and I didn't want to waste all that, so I decided to just make another background panel, and I don't care that the back's getting all messy like that, because I'm just going to glue it down anyway to a card base. So when that dries, you get a really pretty rainbow water effect back on the background. And you can also use your fingertips like I'm doing right here and make another fun look, which is I'm going to show you in the card that I made. I wanted to pick up some different colors there, so I'm putting the colors down, spritzing it with water. I'm sorry I went off camera here, guys, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm just dabbing it with my fingertips. You can use probably eraser heads. There's probably all kinds of thumbnails. There's probably all kinds of fun things that you can use to make fun backgrounds. So I'm going to cut those flowers out and make a card. I'm going to show you here in a second. So anyway, I hope that you liked my video. I hope it was somewhat informative and not too boring. And here's a look at the card I made using the flowers and the background I made with my fingertips. Bye.